Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another craft with me. I'm not calling it a tutorial because I can't own the project. So this is a very popular kind of an origami fold, I would say, if I was going to try to correlate it with something that is all over YouTube. It has been done and done and done and done and done and done. So I'm just bringing it to you because it's my first time doing it, and so I thought I'd just give you my take on it and my spin, and we'll do a little bit of creative play here. So I have my cutter over here to the right. I've got my ruler. We're going to need that. You're going to need a bone folder, a pencil, and I like to ink. So I've got my vintage photo archival ink and my sponge. These, for those wondering, this is just a makeup buffer, and I'm not makeup, nail buffer. So I've been using this piece without even having to shave anything off of it for probably 6 weeks. It's amazing. So scissors, we're going to need those as well. So let me just set this stuff aside because this is the stuff for today. We are working on the autumn journals. So let me just show you what the fold looks like. This is the template. It can be any size paper you want it to be. It just has to be a rectangle. It can't be a square. So I just picked, this is just a standard 8.5 by 11 piece of copy paper. And so that's what I used. And the way it works is it opens up like this. So this piece just gets tucked in here, and that's your kind of your closure. When you open it, all of this space right here could all be written on, provided that you have your paper printed in such a way that you've got a neutral paper here, which we will. So, and then when you connect it again, you have a pocket here, a pocket here, a pocket, whoops, a pocket here, sorry, a pocket here, 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 and then here. Sorry, I thought there was one more. And then if you turn it over, you've got a pocket here and a pocket here. Okay, so we're going to show you how to make that. That's just my template. I'm not going to write any instructions on it because there's no dimensions needed. So if you need to take notes about the steps, please do go ahead and do that. This is another one that I made where I used this image. This is a new digital that I purchased. And then I just used the tea stain paper on the other side, and that's what we're getting. So let's test that out and see if we've got writing space on that part. So you do have to be careful what you use. So this is the part that would be all writing space. So see how this is got a print on it. So that's going to be a little trickier, but you still have all of this. So you'd want to be thinking about what you're putting on the front and the back, because what is appearing on the front here is actually on the back over on this side. So that's just something to keep in mind. Play around and see what you like. Now I did mine on my 67-pound. It's kind of a linen paper, and I don't like it for digitals because it's just got a different, it's just lighter weight, but it's going to be perfect for this because it's not too thin and it's not too thick. I didn't have to struggle a whole lot with burnishing and whatnot. So same thing, you've got, what's going on here? Why does this look different? Oh, because I didn't hook it. It goes like this. Oh, my heavens. It is Sunday, or Monday, it's Labor Day. It's Labor Day. I got a pocket here, here, and here, and here. And then you turn it over, you got a pocket here and here, and then you've got that writing space, as I mentioned before. And this is just another one I'm not going to show you, but I did use, this is the Riley B Graphics paper. I don't remember if I mentioned it. I got 2 more of her kits there, really soft autumn colors, not your traditional colors. So we've got this peachy color. And so I printed on one side with one image, and then the other side with this image. So I get 2 tones. So let's see what this one looks like opened up. I don't do backwards stuff very easily, so there we go. So open that up, and you've got all this beautiful writing space. So if I were to recommend something, I would say use completely neutral paper on both sides of your paper. And this again is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, but it is probably slightly smaller than this. So see the difference, because this I have to cut the white border off of, so I never end up with a true 8.5 by 11. So it's a little bit taller, and it's the same width though, so when it's all folded. So that is that. So let's get on with it. So we're going to make one using the Wild Rose Bohemian images from various kits. So there is such a massive amount of paper, guys, that I'm not going to be able to tell you specifically which kit each of these images is from. What I will tell you is this is not, aside from the background papers, these pieces right here are from Wild Rose Bohemian. I will give you a master list of all the kits I'm using for her, but I'm not going to specify them in the video because it would be too hard. I think I'm working with 8 different collections from her. So these are some of the pieces that we're going to put in, or some choices. You can really stuff these up. So, and then this is the Creating with Scrimping Mommy. I do want to, I had a couple messages from people who watched my video that went on the channel this morning, and I want to say that I wasn't trying to disparage Amanda in any way. I love her to pieces. I love her work, but I had made a comment about the people in her images and that they looked AI. So I had went ahead and reached out to her, and she said that she does not specifically use AI to create her digitals, but she does have license to images that are already, could potentially already be AI generated. So I felt really good about that explanation, because I lean outside of, or I lean away from AI work. So that kind of gave me a little bit of a different spin on this kit. So this is the one we're going to be working on. Now I am going to be using some images in the Wild Rose Bohemian collections that are definitely more AI, I believe, and I think that they have to disclose that on Etsy. Amanda doesn't post on Etsy, she's just on Ko-fi, I believe. So I'm pretty sure she's not on Etsy. So we're going to be working with these kits. So let's go ahead and get going because I've been yammering for 7 minutes already. So I'm going to set this aside. And my husband is working outside. He's just pounding on the wall a little bit outside. He's doing some repair work on our siding before he does a little bit of touch-up painting. So what you want to do, so you can see I've got 2 different images. I don't know if you can see that. 2 tones, okay? So what you want to do is whatever paper you have, again, it just needs to be rectangle. We're going to go ahead and fold this in half. Now, before you get aggressive with this, we do not want to burnish that whole fold, okay? So I'm just lining up this corner over here and lining up this corner over here, okay? And I'm going to give a soft pinch over here. Okay, and then I'm going to move over here and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to give a soft pinch. Okay, just on the corner, and then we're going to open it up, and then I like to make a little pencil mark because my eyes are old, and make a little pencil mark on that fold, and then we're going to draw a line because you don't want to crease that whole line. Okay, so just use your pencil to make a pencil line here so that we can see that. Yeah. Okay, so there we can erase that after we get our folds done. So then with it like this, the tall way, you're going to take this corner and you're going to fold it up to that pencil mark. And I would encourage you to go slow. I sometimes get in a hurry and then I get things wrong. So I'm just going to take my time and line that up to that pencil mark, okay? And I found if I made a mistake, I'm not going to give a super hard press there because I can always move it. And for my own benefit, I'm going to turn that so that I can see this a little bit better, okay? And then you want these to be as straight as you possibly can make them. That looks pretty darn good. So this one feels really solid, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a good hard crease. And I'm going to re-examine this one because we got a little bit of a gap. Okay, so you can kind of manipulate that a little bit. But as I say, I mean, perfection is not at play. You just want to keep in mind that if things are weird, you know, it just might look weird, but it's a junk journal, so it's a handmade journal. So that looks pretty okay in my opinion. There's also really not any inking other than I want to ink around just the outside parts. Okay, so now you're going to turn your paper this way or this way, whichever you prefer. I'm going to turn it this way, and we're going to fold this edge up to line up to here, okay? And you do want to make sure that your corner is nice and crisp. So whatever it takes to make that happen, I would encourage you to do that, okay? Yep, that looks pretty good. Okay. Give that it's hard. And then just go down. Just go for the gusto, as I say. It's not like the irregularities are going to matter at all. One of the videos I watched some time ago, they used all kinds of paper, like magazines and book pages and stuff. That was a little off, but it should not be a problem. Okay, so there's that. So then you're going to, I don't know what's going on with this band. I think I've taken it off before on camera, but weird. Okay, so then what I want to do is just examine how wide I made that. So this, see how this kind of looks like an envelope right here? We're going to be folding here, but I want it to be the same-ish height as this one. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a pencil mark there so that I can not have to guess. I believe it was 3 3/4. Yes, 3 3/4 inches. So then we're going to turn it over like this. And actually, I think I'm going to use my score tool. Why not? Let's just do that, because it's you're going through more thicknesses of paper, so I feel like it would be easier. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this in my trimmer here using the score tool, and I'm just going to score on that pencil line. Okay, because you can get a really solid crease here, and you can go over it multiple times without tearing the paper. So now you've got that line. So we're going to turn it over and we're going to fold on that line. And I'm just going to turn this again for my own, the ease for me. I'm going to just kind of turn it like this. Turn it like this, and you want to make sure this is lined up to your edge, okay? And I'm just going to push, okay? And in a second I'll get the bone folder so that we're not hurting the fingers. Okay, give that a good burnish, like really solid. Okay, boom. I'll see if I can find a video to link. Again, I watched many, but if I forget, please just remind me. Tomorrow I go back to work. I'm sort of bummed about that, kind of. Okay, so now you might be inclined to kind of score that, but I would not advise you to score that, because we want to pull this really tight. Okay, we want that to be really tight across that edge. Okay, so I'm just going to do it manually here, and you should, if everything is good, you should be lining up to your outer edge here. We're not, so I'm going to just try to see if I can fix that. See if I can right that wrong. Okay, not a big deal again. So I'm going to give that a good burnish. That one's a little bit off, but you know, it's okay. All right, so then this sticks in here. That's why I think it's an origami fold in Origination, personally, but I could be wrong. So, oops, got that folded over there. I probably burnished the wrong way. So all I'm going to do is ink around the outside edges on both sides. Okay. This would be a great project for using your scraps, because you could use, again, any size paper that is a rectangle. So now you could ink these edges too, but I don't want to get into the weeds on that, because I tried that on one of my samples and I felt like, oh, I was inking then in places that when it was opened I didn't really like. So I'm just opting to just do this, okay? But you can do you. Okay, there we go. So we're a little bit off because that very first fold was off. See that right there? I don't know if you can tell. I wonder if we can trim that a little bit. Let's see. See if I can get this open. How do you open? Right there. We're going to need to erase that pencil line anyway. So what I'm seeing here, see how this is not quite in line there. So I'm going to see if I can just trim, just shave just the smallest amount off of that, okay? Because it seems like it's just that corner. Oh yeah, look at that. That perfected it exactly. So let's go ahead and erase that pencil line just so that we don't forget. This eraser is too long, but I can't get it to go deeper in the sleeve. So like I use it and it just presses into the paper. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's just take this opportunity to look again. Now see again, by inking that, now we've got that dark line there in our design. So we're going to again go ahead and fold this in. Oh, let's see if I can do this. I think we should just be able to do this. Once it's trained and you can't really undo it. So that's kind of cool. There we go. There we go. And the 67-pound paper is really great. I don't know why it says it's 67, because it is not as heavy as my 65-pound. I mean, but it feels like it's made out of like a linen paper, so it's probably got a different composition to it. Okay, so that's that. So let's pull these bits over and see what will fit. I didn't prepare everything. This one we'll use to make some circles probably, but you've got, so you've got little pockets up here. So I thought these little pretty girls would be great there. So let's decide what we want and then we'll ink up. In fact, I probably won't do all this on camera because you guys have seen me do it before. So we've got a bunch of stuff to go in here. Look at that, lovely. So pretty. And then this would go pretty there. So I love this layered look that you can get with these stuffed pockets. So that looks good on this side. I feel like we need something small up here. So let's go ahead and stick that in there. And then maybe one of the small tags. Yeah, right there. And then we're going to turn her over and we can do this similarly. It's not going to hold as much on this side because it's it doesn't have as many pockets, so, but we should be able to get this one in here as well. I love the look of that. Oh my, look at that. So cool. And I'll show you kind of the profile of this here in a second. Let's see if we can stick this one in here. Let's go that way. Yeah. So it's a little thickish, but it could go in a pocket. So so I think it's amazing. So I'm happy with it. So we do want to decorate this up a little bit. So I've got way more than I needed here. Could probably maybe stick one of those in there just for kicks. So I picked two of these, the same images that I cut out, and I thought we'd maybe put them here. So let me go ahead and just trim this off really quick. And just grab these beauties. So, so the Wild Rose Bohemian, I knew that her Etsy shop name was different than her name that she goes by on other social media. So it is Wild Rose Boho on Etsy, but I will go back to today's video and re-link that so you guys can get to her shop and get to the kits. Okay, just going to ink that up a little bit, both of them, and then we'll do the other one as well since we're only about 18 minutes in. Okay, so I don't want this one on this side because we've got that girl, so we'll just put her here. And actually I think I'm going to do that off camera because I want to move along, and then I'll probably put this over here. Maybe I'll find something else that can go since it's a longer space. So I'm just going to stick these in here for now, but look at that stuffed beauty. So cool. Okay, so let's go for the Amanda one. So pretty. A very different look, but I think it's going to be fun to do that. Do it a little bit differently. So I'm going to go ahead and just put these aside. Those are our little bits. And so same process. You're going to fold it hot dog style. Got a little bit of white there. You know what? I'm going to trim that off because that might make I need to square this up. So I'm going to fix this. Okay. And then I'm going to fix this edge. So I got to move it down because I've got my straight edge now over here. There we go. Whoops. Oh, shoot. Can't go both ways, Cara-Renee. Holy moly. Let me just do that manually. That was silly. There we go. Okay. Might end up with a slightly different size here, but it should be okay. So again, you're going to fold this in half. Hot dog style, as they say. And then I like to push it in the middle and then go over here and just crease just slightly there. And then make sure that we're still lined up. And then give that a light pinch there. Sorry, I'm off camera. And then come in with my pencil and make a pencil mark. Pencil mark, just because it's easier to see. I'm going to make my pencil line. This is kind of important because if you don't get it precise, your folds are going to be off, okay, potentially. Okay, so now we're going to fold this corner up here, and I'm going to be a little bit more careful here, see if I can really get that in place. I feel like that's okay. Give that a good crease. And I'm going to, again, turn it. You have to do what you need to do to be effective. Oh, that's not, yeah, that's fine. I thought I was off. We are off. What's going on here? It's kind of hard for me to see. Got a little bit of a gap there, which I'm not feeling very great about, but we're going to just go for it. Okay. It might be the design throwing me off too because it's got a little bit of a pattern there. So I'm just gonna, again, it doesn't matter if it's perfect. Okay, so there we go. That one's not quite meeting in the same way, but I think it's going to be okay because the bottom is even, which is the problem we ran into before. Okay, so let's go ahead and erase that line now because we don't need it. We only needed it for that first step, I'm pretty sure. Memory serves me. So I mentioned in the video that went up today, I got studio lights and they are amazing. Like amazing. The light in here when I'm filming is so much better than it was, and as the weather changes, that's going to be really important. Let me just burnish that again. Popping up. Did I print this on that paper? Oh, you know what? This is printed on 65-pound paper because I pulled this from the kit that I had already printed. That's maybe why we're having a little bit of challenge. So again, you're going to fold this up to this edge and you're going to make sure that you've got a sharp corner here. So I'm going to just be really meticulous here and pull it down and pull it over and over and over. That looks good. Yeah. Okay. And then I like to hold this here so that nothing moves. Okay. And then just press that out the rest of the way. I love this paper. I mentioned when I did the share that I love this kind of scratchy pattern look that she's got. I think it's just gorgeous. It'd make beautiful envelopes, wouldn't it? Okay, so that's that. So again, we did, what was our dimensions? I don't remember. I don't remember. I think it was 3 3/4, but we'll just use this as a guide here. 3 3/4. Just make a little pencil mark. And then we're going to pull that score tool over here. Why not? We've got it. So I'm just going to line that up. Oh, that was perfect. Wow. That never happens. Okay. Boom. That's why this paper is a little bit thicker. So we'll see how it actually behaves. Got a little bit more of a gap here, but I think it's going to be okay. And then we're going to turn this over and fold it up. So I'm just paying attention to that crease, and I'm lining it up primarily to this this edge. Okay. And then we're gonna really hold that because I don't want that to shift because we're working with a thicker paper. It's definitely thicker than what I was using before. So there we go. I don't like it for journal cards and stuff, that 65 pound or that 67 pound paper that I mentioned, the linen paper, because it just feels a little bit flimsier. But it's great for this. But this is fine if this feels really stable and sturdy. So that's really cool. So again, then you're going to really pull this, really pull it to you. So we've got a little bit of tea stain paper going to peek through here. And then I'm going to just line this up to this edge as best I can. Yeah, not bad, Cara-Renee. Just like that. I'm really going to have to burnish that out because that is a tight fold, okay? Really tight fold with this paper. So there we go. Yeah, look at that. That's so cool. I love that. I love this. This was a good choice for this base, I think. It's very interesting. So then you just tuck that in like so, and you've got your pocket. I love it. And I love that tea stain paper showing. I think it's a nice compliment. So let's see what we've got for stuff. So we've got journal cards and tags from her kit. So we could go like, let me go back here with her. Oh, she peeks out. That's really cool. And then we've got a sunflower as well. We could put that there. Yeah, I like that. And then let's flip it over to the back and see what we want to do back here. So it's not really going to show much back here, but I think that's okay, kind of secretive. And it became, again, because we used, oh, you know what? Hold on. We need to look at that writing space. Because remember, only part, so see how we've got tea stained on both sides of this project. So let's see what we end up with. So we've got this. So this could be written on, okay, but it's going to conflict with the script that's already there. You can see we've got little light script, but I think it's totally doable, and I'm happy with it. But you just want to keep that in mind when you're selecting your image paper, your digital or whatever. Okay, so let's do that again. There and there. Oops, get in there. Get in there. She's kind of hidden though. Maybe we'll reverse those and put the sunflower in the back. I think yes. Just kind of plop it right there. Could put a whale tail tab on there. I might do that. We'll see. I'm trying to do something a little bit different with these journals than I normally do, so I might do a little bit less of that. And then we've got, I don't want, this one would be okay. I don't want the same girl image there. That would be redundant. So I'm going to stick her right there. And then we've got a tag that could go here, which I think would be lovely. Okay, turn it over. And we've got another tag that can go in here. And then we've got 2 journal cards. I haven't rounded these edges. I didn't completely cut them out, so I'll take a corner rounder to that, but we'll stick those both in this pocket and stagger them a little bit. Actually, I want her under because we've got her pronounced in the other part on the other side. And then we'll stick her here, kind of sticking up a little bit further maybe, just for interest. And then again, I think I'm going to choose something bigger to go here. I didn't realize I had such a big space to work with, but I'll put some kind of maybe the little girl here, maybe this one, I'm not sure. But I will do that off camera. She's got some sweet little words and stuff in the kit as well. But that is it for today. I hope you don't mind that we're not decorating everything. I'm just trying to keep this nice and short and sweet. I need to get to dinner, get the dinner made, and then get ready to go to work tomorrow. Get all my lunch stuff going and all of that. I'm anxious to go back, but it's supposed to be a hot week, and I'm not looking forward to that. We spend a lot of time outside with our kids at recess, so it's like, oh, sweltering. Hopefully it won't be so muggy as it was some of the days last week when we were struggling a bit. But I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you'll give it a try, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.